So I'm going to show you guys how to make some flannel pajama bottoms today, and this is a fairly simple pattern, so just about any pajama pattern that you have for unisex pajama pants is going to be pretty much the same. So telling you the pattern is not really necessary. It's just, this is a 4-piece pants pattern, so I've cut 2 pieces for the back and 2 pieces for the front. And just so you don't get confused when you do this, it's a good idea to mark at least one side of the pattern piece, and I've marked the 2 front pieces with an F so that I know. I mean, you really don't need to mark the back. If you mark both pieces of the front, you've, you know, taken care of that problem. So anyway, it's just a standard. I had to kind of customize these because Twisty is very short, and these are for her, and she wanted them kind of baggy, so I'm trying to make them a little bit bigger than her size. And that was fairly easy to do with the pattern. When I laid the pattern piece out along what would be this side seam here, I just added a couple of inches so that they would fit a little looser, and I also, to make the legs shorter, I just folded the pattern piece up to where I did her measurements, and then I cut it to there. And I'm not going to do a fold over seam, I'm just going to do a tight zigzag stitch at the bottom so they'll be nice and comfortable to sleep in. So really basically all you need is some kind of pants pattern. That just make sure that it's designed for cotton fabrics. Anything designed for knits is not going to cut the same as what's designed for other fabrics, and it's the vice versa. If you buy a pattern that's meant for cotton fabrics and you cut knits in that on that pattern, it's probably not going to work right. So anyway, I have the 4 pieces here, and all I need is that and some elastic. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is, say I have my 2 pieces here for the back and the front. I'm going to take one piece of the back, 1 piece of the front, and this for me, I'll explain this because this is just going to be a short video anyway. So years ago when I started making pants for Twisty all the time, and I always made all of her clothes because she was a little hippie, so she liked things a little different, a little colorful, and I enjoyed making them for her. Well, the problem was she was always busting out of the crotch. So, you know, I was like, I told my mom, I said, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But she's always busting out of her pants. And so Mama showed me this way that I'm about to show you guys that will keep the inseam, the middle seam, the crotch seam, whatever you call it, together longer. Especially when you got kids who are going to be romping around in this stuff. I mean, you know, some kids wear their pants to Walmart, so you don't want them to be in the middle of Walmart and bust the britches open. Twisty will not do that. It's not her style, and I'd kick her butt if she did anyway. But so anyway, you see here that I have the right sides facing together, and this is what's going to end up being the inseam or the crotch seam of the pants, and this is the side seam. What I'm going to do is for each one, the sets of pieces, a back piece and a front piece, I'm going to sew that side seam together, and I'm going to do that with both pieces, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. So you guys saw that I sewed the side seams on these, and this is just to kind of try to help you understand what you're going to have here. Still trying to make room on this table. You're going to have, this is like the back piece, and then the front piece here. Sorry, but it's a plus size. So you see, and I sewed the side seams on each one, and then I pressed it. And that's because they're pajamas, and even if they're not pajamas, I think you kind of want to do that with kids' clothes and even your own clothes. For one thing, this is going to be really uncomfortable if you don't press it down, and for another, it's going to create some bulk when you're wearing the pants, and that's going to kind of show. So it's good to press that seam. So now you see, and I have done that with both or all 4 pieces on the back and the front together. Now, this is kind of weird, but I promise you it's right. Now you want to take the sides and fold right sides together, and you see this here. This is the front and the back crotch seam together. You can see how that works. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew starting at the bottom of what will be that rounded crotch seam, and sew all the way down to the bottom of the leg. Like, this is the front, 1/2 of the front, this is 1/2 of the back. Right here's that first seam I did. I don't know if you can see it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave one leg wrong side out and turn the other one right side out. Now I want to take this leg and put it inside the other leg, and then I want to match up these front and back seams. I probably should have just, for example, shown you guys or did a video with smaller pants so that you could kind of see what I'm doing, but you know, I'm limited on my materials and I don't want to waste them, and I don't see my grandchildren right now, so I don't have anybody small to make anything for. And anyway, so I've lined up, you see, this is actually going to be that middle crotch seam. This is where the back and the front, the butt and the front of the booty are going to meet. So you see a seam here, and I'm going to go ahead and pin just a little bit. Don't go nuts with the pinning, because somebody who asked me the other day, I think it was Teresa, asked me if I ever stick myself, because I never show it. I stick myself almost every single time I do a video. I just delete it, because usually it's followed by an F-bomb. So I know I got complaints about that a while back, so I try not to curse too much in my videos. So I'm keeping this with right sides facing together, and I'm going to sew beginning at one end and go all the way around this back and front crotch seam. Okay, so we can take these 2 little pins out, and you can see that what I did was stitched all along these 2 crotch seams here. And now you reach in, grab the pants that you put inside, the pants leg you put inside the other one, and voila, look at that. I know these some, oh Lord, this is gonna be so baggy on my little twisty, she gonna kill me. But anyway, there you go. See, that's the crotch seam. This is the front, because I can see where I put my little F's on there and a fabric marker. So now what I need to do is just get some elastic out. So what I'm going to do with the waistband is I'm going to stitch the elastic on instead of creating a casing, because I think it'll fit better and it'll be more comfortable. It's just sometimes when you create that case and then feed the elastic in, it can get lumpy, and I like doing it this way whenever I can. So I'm going to remove the free arm. I'm going to find the back seam of the pants. So anyway, this is the back of the pants. This is the back seam, the center seam, you know, the butt crack seam. And I'm going to lay this right here. I'm going to get my elastic. And what I'm going to do is put it right to the edge of this, the top of the pants. And I'm just going to stitch with a straight stitch. A little back stitch to hold it in place. And then I'm going to set my machine to a zigzag stitch. You can do a stretchy stitch. Mine messes up every time I do that. So I'll just go ahead and put it on a loose zigzag so that it's, you know, I don't know, works for me. I might be doing something wrong, but whatever I'm doing wrong is working for me. So anyway, that's what I do. I put it on a zigzag and the number 4, the stitch length, and then I just will start pulling just a little bit. So now that you've got the elastic sewn all the way around, you just want to fold it over itself, and just to where the elastic meets the top. You don't want to try to do it, you know, make the fold thicker than the elastic or wider than the elastic, because it's not going to work that way. It's going to make a mess. So then you just have to go back over it again, and I'm going to use a straight stitch. I'm just going to take a tiny piece of scrap fabric that I have here so that I can mark the back, so she's not constantly trying to figure out what's the back and the front. So I'm doing a long straight stitch, and I'm folding it right over itself. And I'm going to give it that same little pull I did to stretch the elastic before. And it's usually really easy to tell if you're doing this right, because it's all gonna, let's stick that needle in there and show you guys. It's all gonna be smooth like that. You're gonna see that it's not gonna bunch up and crumple up. You just give it that same pull you did when you did it the first time. So you see, there you have it. That is actually a very pretty waistband. I like the way that looks. It always looks neater when you do it this way, with this sewing the elastic onto it and then folding it over. Alright, so there y'all have it. There's our little pajama pants, and you can see I went ahead off camera and did both of the bottoms of the legs. They are really baggy. I mean, looking at them put together now, my baby is they're gonna swallow her, but it's okay. She's just wanting pajama pants, and I had this Star Wars fabric left over from the top, so I thought I would make her the pants. So anyway, I hope this tutorial was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Y'all have a good weekend. Peace, y'all. Bye-bye.